Hey, what's going on? Justin here from Modern Mixing, and today is day 5 of how to mix a hip-hop vocal into an instrumental. So today we're going to be talking about the targeted or the specified delays in the vocals, the verse vocals, and also the chorus vocals. I was originally going to do all the effects in one, shot in one video, but there was just so much to go over, so I decided to do it in parts. So tomorrow we'll be talking about, there's a chant that was in the background, or like a yell in one of the verses in the first verse, and I'm going to show you the effects that I used on that, and then also just the general effects, which was over the whole track, so the reverb and a delay, just a general setting just to give some space. So on to the targeted delays here. I'll start with the verse. So what I did was this is the original verse, the first verse, and I copied that and I bring it down to the second track here, which I call delay. Now, what's happening is I'm chopping out all the areas that I want as a delay in this track, and I'm just cutting out everything else that I don't want. So what's happening with this track is this is a direct signal, so it's exactly in time with the original verse, like you can see here. But what's happening is it's getting routed to the bus, and then the delay is being processed on this bus. So the output of this channel is going to the input of this channel, and then there's a delay on here, and the delay is set to 100% wet. So even though these are lined up in time here, what's actually happening is this is actually being delayed by a quarter note. So it's, it would actually be after this because I'm setting up a quarter note delay. So that's how I decided to do it, just to target it. Some people, you can do like throws where you kind of, ride the fader and stuff, but for me, this is just easier. I like doing it like this. So let's go in and see what we got on the verses. Let's just make sure we're in a good spot where we can hear some of the delays. And I used the Man American delay. So what I did was I set it up for a quarter note delay. I did a quarter on both sides, left and right, and then I engaged the doubler, so it widens the sound out. So it's not mono. If I just left this without the doubler, it would just be a mono delay. So by adding the doubler, it just stereo it out. Then I added the distortion to give it some more grit, because again, the track was kind of haunting, and having these delays in the background all distorted and not so clean, it just kind of added to that haunting feel. And then also the reverb. Put some reverb just to push it a little bit further back in the mix. Next, I used the high pass and a low pass, cutting all the low end and the top end. Just to make sure that it's more of a, the frequencies are more focused in the mid-range, and then it just helped it to fit a little bit better in the mix. I got the feedback set at about 40, and I'm assuming that's percentage, but I don't really know. I just have it set at 40. Next is the compressor, and I believe I'm knocking off, well, let's see. Let's bypass all this and we'll see.
To see who I am and who we are.
So knocking off anywhere from 6 to 12 dBs, which is sort of what I thought originally anyways. So what's happening is it's really squishing it, so there's almost like no transients. There's no room for that to breathe. All its job is just be in the background, add as a delay, add as a texture. It doesn't have to be clean, and actually the less clean it is, the less clear it is, the better. Then we use this delay. There was some mid-range frequency I didn't like, around 400. It was just kind of competing with the vocal a bit, and then by taking this out, it just even pushed it further behind the vocal. So let's demo that, and we'll turn everything off. You know what? Let's go to the delay, and let's turn some of these things off and on, and we'll see.
To see who I am and who we are. To see who I am and who we are. To see who I am and who we are. To see who I am and who we are. To see who I am and who we are. To see who I am and who we are. To see who I am and who we are. To see who I am and who we are. To see who I am and who we are. to see who I am, and who we are.
Okay, so let's bring in the actual lead vocals now, and then we'll see what everything sounds like. I'll turn off all this stuff on the delay, and then I'll let the delay go and do what it's got to do, and then I'll turn everything back on, and then I will play it after, and you'll see the difference.
Hard to see who I am and who we are, just a bunch of stupid humans. Hard to see who I am and who we are, just a bunch of stupid humans who really think we're high and mighty, but specks of dust is all that I see when we look up in the stars and see.
Alright, so let's get on to the chorus vocals now, and let's talk about the delays in the chorus. So I wanted to have the same sort of sound, or a consistent sound as far as the delay was concerned, as the verses, and that's kind of why I decided to go with the Manny American delay again. I mean, it sounds really good too, so it's not like I was compromising or anything, but I just wanted to have a similar type of sound and just give me the same options as I had with the verse delay, so that's why we were using this one. So we pretty much set it up the same way. The only thing I did differently in this time was this phaser here, just added just to give a little bit more width and a little bit less consistency, have it more phasing and just, you know, make it a little bit more obscure. Then with the high pass and low pass, a little bit more of the high pass, taking out more of the low end, and then a little bit less of the low pass, so I'm leaving more high end in these ones just to give them a little bit more presence. The feedback is pretty much the same, about 37. And with the compressor, again, same thing, sort of what we were doing in the first verse. We're just trying to squash those transients, make these delays as consistent as possible, so that when they're on the track, they're, you know, easier to spot or easier to put in the mix. And yeah, and then we can fit them behind the vocal. So the vocal's the star of the show. That one has all the transients, it has all that goodness in it, and the delays are, you know, more squashed, more affected. Next is the EQ. I boosted a bunch around 5K, about 6 dBs. Cut out a lot around 800, about 3 dBs, and then cut some more around 70 hertz, some more of that bottom end. And again, this just brought those delays forward in the mix, because the chorus is a little bit more aggressive, it's a little more edgier, and I wanted the delays, even though I wanted to keep that haunting feel, I still wanted these delays to be more of a pickup from the verses, so that's why I decided to add some more of that high end. So let's audition, and we'll turn everything off and turn it on, and we'll see what we get.
It's a new day. No change. 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 New day.
Okay, so let's bring the vocal in, and then I'll also bring the production back, and then we'll see what they sound like. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of mute all this good stuff, and then I'll bring it in, and then you'll hear the difference.
Tell me it's a new day. I wake up, get up, and still same, no change. I wake up, get up, and tell me it's a new day. I wake up, get up, and still same, no change. Tell me it's a new day. I wake up, get up, and still same, no change. I wake up, get up, and tell me it's a new day. I wake up, get up, and still same, no change.
Alright, so hopefully you got something out of that and you understood where I was trying to go with those effects. And I think that just about covers it for today. So tomorrow we'll go into the more general effects, and we'll also talk about the effects that I used on that little yell section, or the the chant or whatever it is. And yeah, we'll delve a little bit deeper into that. So until then, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
I wake up, get up and tell me it's a new day. I wake up, get up and still same, no change. I wake up, get up and tell me it's a new day. I wake up, get up and still same, no change.